8 years ago, I was 32 years old, stuck in a job I hated, and barely making progress financially. I had about $50,000 sitting in a savings account, earning almost nothing. Today, that same money, and the strategy I built around it, generates roughly $4,200 per month in SCHD dividend income. That's more than my old paycheck, and it completely changed my life. In this video, I'm sharing my real 8-year journey from stressed employee to financially free at 40. I'll break down the exact strategy I used, the biggest mistakes I made, and the key decisions that made the biggest difference. We'll cover how I started with $50,000, why I chose SCHD, how monthly investing accelerated the process, and the 5 mistakes that cost me nearly $73,000 along the way. Back in 2018, I was earning around $48,000 a year in sales and dreaded going to work every Monday. I had no debt and decent savings, but no clear financial plan. Then I discovered dividend investing. The idea of building income without constantly trading time for money completely changed my mindset. I decided to invest the full $50,000 into SCHD and contribute $1,000 every month from my paycheck. At the time, it felt risky. Looking back, it was the best financial decision I ever made. Year 1, 2018. I invested my entire $50,000 into SCHD at around $52 per share. My very first dividend payment was about $721, and honestly, that moment changed my mindset forever. For the first time, I saw money coming in without trading hours for it. I immediately set up automatic $1,000 monthly investments and finished the year generating nearly $3,000 annually in dividends. Year 2. The portfolio grew to roughly $84,000, and annual dividends reached about $4,200. But I made a major mistake. I spent the dividends instead of reinvesting them. Looking back, that decision slowed my compounding significantly. Year 3. COVID hit, the market crashed, and my portfolio dropped fast. I was terrified and came close to selling everything. Instead, I kept investing every month. By year end, the portfolio had recovered, and I learned one of the biggest lessons in investing: never panic sell during crashes. Year 4. SCHD surged during the bull market, pushing my portfolio to around $145,000 and annual dividends to about $6,500. I increased my monthly investments to $1,500. Year 5 brought another market decline, but this time I stayed calm and bought aggressively. That ended up being one of the smartest financial decisions I ever made. Year 6, 2023, was the turning point. My portfolio crossed $230,000, and dividends passed $10,400 annually. Financial freedom finally started feeling real. But after doing the math, I realized I still needed to make bigger sacrifices if I wanted to leave my job by 40. So I got serious. I cut expenses aggressively: no expensive trips, minimal shopping, fewer nights out. I moved into a cheaper apartment, sold my car, and bought a used Honda Civic. My monthly investing increased from $1,500 to $2,500. Some friends thought I was wasting my 30s. I saw it differently. I was buying my freedom. Year 7, 2024. My portfolio grew to about $320,000, with nearly $14,600 in annual dividends. Year 8, 2025. The portfolio reached roughly $392,000. Technically, it still wasn't enough to completely replace my income overnight. But then I realized something important. SCHD's dividend growth would continue compounding even after I stopped working. By keeping my expenses low and letting the dividends continue growing, I could make the numbers work. So at age 40, in 2026, I finally quit my job and became financially independent. Let me break down the 3 decisions that completely changed my financial future. Decision 1. Investing the full $50,000 immediately. Instead of waiting for the perfect market entry, I invested everything right away. That decision gave my money more time to compound, And over the years, it added thousands of dollars in extra growth. Decision 2. Continuing to buy during market crashes. In 2020 and again in 2022, markets dropped hard, and many investors panicked. Instead of selling, I kept investing aggressively every month. Those purchases during periods of fear ended up becoming some of the most profitable investments in my portfolio. Decision 3. Living far below my means. Between ages 37 and 39, I focused heavily on saving and investing instead of upgrading my lifestyle. I invested roughly 60% of my income, cut unnecessary expenses, and avoided lifestyle inflation. That aggressive saving added more than $60,000 to my portfolio in just a few years. Those 3 decisions, investing early, staying consistent during crashes, and keeping expenses low, dramatically accelerated my path to financial freedom. Now let me share the 5 mistakes that cost me thousands of dollars, and how you can avoid making the same ones. Mistake 1. Spending dividends too early. At first, I used my dividend payments instead of reinvesting them. That slowed compounding and reduced my long-term growth significantly. Mistake 2. Ignoring tax-advantaged accounts. I focused too much on taxable investing and didn't maximize my Roth IRA early enough. That mistake cost me unnecessary taxes over time. Mistake 3. Waiting too long to increase contributions. I didn't start investing aggressively until several years into the journey. If I had increased my monthly investments sooner, my portfolio would be much larger today. Mistake 4. Constantly checking my portfolio during crashes. In 2020, watching the market every day almost pushed me into panic selling. That emotional stress nearly became my biggest financial mistake. Now I focus far more on the long term. Mistake 5. Trying to do everything alone. I learned strategies like tax loss harvesting and Roth conversions much later because I wasn't connected to experienced investors. Overall, these mistakes probably cost me around $73,000 in lost growth. But despite all of them, I still reached financial freedom. And that's what matters most. So where am I today? I'm 40 years old, and I quit my job 3 months ago. My SCHD portfolio is worth around $392,000 and currently generates about $14,000 per year in dividends, or roughly $1,176 per month. That's not the $4,200 monthly income I mentioned earlier, but the key is dividend growth. Historically, SCHD's dividend has grown around 12% annually. If that trend continues, my income could grow past $2,000 per month within 5 years, around $3,600 monthly in 10 years, and eventually exceed $4,000 per month without needing huge additional investments. Even now, I still live below my means and reinvest part of the dividends so the portfolio keeps compounding after retirement. For me, financial freedom isn't about luxury cars or expensive lifestyles. It's about owning your time, waking up without an alarm clock, and never dreading Monday mornings again. Was the sacrifice worth it? Absolutely. A few years of discipline and consistency bought me decades of freedom. And if you're stuck in a job you hate, like I was at 32, understand this. Financial freedom is possible. The strategy is simple. Buy quality investments like SCHD, invest consistently every month, reinvest dividends, stay calm during crashes, and live below your means. I started with $50,000, but the starting amount matters less than consistency. Whether you begin with $5,000 or $100,000, the process is the same. Patience, discipline, and time. Start today. Set up automatic investing, reinvest your dividends, and let compounding work for you. What's your starting number? Leave it in the comments, and let's calculate your path to financial freedom. Subscribe for more real financial independence journeys with actual numbers. No hype, no shortcuts, just long-term investing and freedom.